So it seems that we'll be getting an extra $400 for unemployment that will be extended until the end of the year. But this kind of comes with an asterisk, so don't get your hopes up just yet. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan Moore. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and a creative entrepreneur, and I like to make videos like these for other creative entrepreneurs who are trying to build a life on their terms and get it how they live. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the extra $400 for unemployment that's supposed to be extended until the end of the year. Over the weekend, the president has signed this into law, or whatever you want to call it, via executive order after Congress could not come to an agreement on the next stimulus package. Now, for a lot of us, this is bad news, or it's somewhat of a bummer for those who are out there who are currently collecting unemployment, and also for the business community, because there were other things in that stimulus package that we were looking forward to hearing about, such as a second round of PPP, more money for the EIDL program, as well as more money for the grant program. And there were also some other proposals that were supposed to help out with more loan programs and assistance to small business owners, which is basically crickets right now. So the president took it upon himself and created this executive order where he's going to be adding $400 to the unemployment boost up instead of the $600 that it was that ran out in July. But like I said, this comes with a bit of an asterisk. So let's just talk about it and see what's really going on here. Now, on the surface, this may sound like really good news, but when you start reading the actual bill itself, it gets a little murky, it gets a little tricky, and a lot of people could be affected more so than they think. So what we do know is that we're supposed to be getting an extra $400 that's supposed to be extended to the end of the year, which is a drop from the previous $600. Now, the way that the bill states it, or it says in the executive order, is that the states are supposed to use the money that they received from the first CARES Act program, the funding that's in there, and they're supposed to use this to help supplement these new benefits. Also, what they're saying is that the extra $400 is going to come from two places. So the Fed is going to put up $300, and then your state is supposed to put up the extra $100, which in turn could be problematic, especially if states are, crying broke right now and they're saying that they don't have any money. And also keep in mind that states have to agree to this program. So they have to agree to put up the extra $100, and then the federal government is supposed to give the extra $300, totaling for $400 per week. Now, this money is supposed to be retroactive until basically the end of July, the first week of August, or essentially when the first CARES Act package ran out of the additional $600. But when you start really looking into this act, basically what it does is it gives the government permission to essentially raid the Homeland Security disaster funds that they have appropriated for disasters, hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, you name it. Essentially right now, inside of that bill is $70 billion, and it's allowing the government right now to use up to about $45 billion of those dollars to fund the additional unemployment. So basically, we have to hope that there are no natural disasters, because if there are natural disasters, it's going to be competing for that money. And as a caveat, that fund isn't allowed to drop below $25 billion. So you're already running thin on the margins. So here's some math for you. There's about 31 million people on average right now on unemployment. So if you got these 30 million people, right, or 31 million, whatever, on average, collecting unemployment right now, and then you're timesing that by 300, when you do the math, that's only going to allow a little bit of relief, probably about 4 to 5 weeks. And since the program is retroactive, that's going to be from the end of July, the beginning of August, which is really only going to take us into the beginning of September, maybe only a week into September. So that's problematic right now as it is. So there are some new requirements along with this program. Before, in order to get the extra $600, you only had to qualify for $1 in unemployment assistance. Now with this new program, you have to qualify for at least $100, okay, to get unemployment assistance. So there are some new requirements in this program. Essentially, before, when you were getting the extra $600, you only had to qualify for $1 in unemployment assistance, and you would automatically get the $600. Now with the new program, it says that you have to qualify for at least $100 in order to get the extra $300 to $400 that they've proposed. So what this means is basically it goes by your state, and every state is individual. Some states go on a portion of percentage of money that you make. Some states go dollar for dollar. So let's just say, for example, that you had, your hours reduced, or maybe, you're only working part-time, but you were still able to collect unemployment. Well, as long as you were able to qualify for just $1, you were able to get the extra $600. But let's just say now that the game has changed and they, switched up the rules on you a little bit. Let's say you only qualify for $50 in unemployment, $75 for unemployment, $90 of unemployment from your state. Then essentially you don't qualify for the extra $400 that they're proposing. And this kind of sucks for those out there who are still trying to work and make money, because essentially you only have to make a small amount of money, right, in order to be disqualified from the program. So people out there who are either collecting partial unemployment, or you're making very low wages, right, and you're just getting back to work, maybe your hours have been reduced, this is going to disproportionately affect those people, because essentially if they, make too much money, right, which isn't going to be a lot of money at all, but essentially they make too much money to qualify for at least $100 from the state, then they're going to miss out on this extended or the additional $400 that's being proposed. So although this may sound like good news, essentially it is, but it's got a mix. It's kind of got an asterisk next to it, because first of all, there's a lot of, going back and forth about it, right? They're saying that it was unconstitutional what he did, that, only Congress has the power to spend. Now, I know a lot of people out there need the relief and they're looking forward to it, and hopefully those who need it can get it. But essentially, the problem is that will they even qualify for it, because they might be making too much money, which might be a little bit of money, but it might be too much money to even qualify for the additional benefits. And although this may sound like it's a good thing, like, the president took action and took control into his own hands, it left a lot of other people out in the cold, especially the small business owners who were looking forward to hearing more about, a second round of PPP, more money going into the EIDL, people actually getting the full $10,000 grants that they were supposed to get, but the SBA changed the rules on us. And also for anybody who was out there maybe possibly anticipating another stimulus check, these executive orders that were signed over the weekend has no mention of those at all. So if you were expecting that, I don't know if I would hold my breath. So hopefully what we see is when Congress comes back, and they start negotiating, hopefully we see some of those proposals that were on the table for the small business owners actually get addressed, actually get taken care of. Hopefully it gives us some more certainty in such uncertain times. But then again, it is the government, and they work really slow, and they live in their own bubble while we're all out here just, fighting to survive. So I don't know what's going to happen, but like I said, hopefully the people who need this money get this money. Also, you just want to make sure that you check with your states, because it is individual. And so maybe some people in some states will qualify, maybe some people won't. And I feel like when the rubber hits the road, this program isn't going to be as pretty as it may sound. So that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you found this video useful, informative, and helpful, kind of providing a little bit more clarity around this whole situation. And so if that's the case, please give me a like, drop me a comment, let me know what's going on with you in your journey right now. And for all my people out there who are trying to build a life on their terms and get it how they live, this is your man, Jonathan Moore, and I'm signing out. Peace.